For years, we've all kind of followed one simple rule for making AI smarter. Just feed it more data. But what if that simple rule is the very thing holding it back? I mean, think about it. What if the thing we believe is AI's greatest strength, the entire sum of human knowledge, creativity, and intelligence, is actually a cage? What if it's putting a hard ceiling on what AI can ever achieve? It's a pretty radical idea, and it challenges, well, everything we think we know about AI today. To really get this, we need to think about two different eras. First, there's where we are right now, the era of human data. This is where AI basically learns from us. But the next era, the one we're just starting to explore, is the era of experience, where machines learn all by themselves. Now, this whole concept isn't just something pulled out of thin air. It comes from David Silver, one of the key minds behind the legendary AlphaGo program at Google DeepMind. And his insights from a recent interview are pretty much the foundation for everything we're about to unpack. Okay, so let's start with the problem. Let's talk about this human data ceiling. Why would our own knowledge, our greatest strength, be AI's biggest limitation? So this era of human data, where we are now, it's all about models that just ingest the internet. All our books, articles, chats, everything. They learn to mimic how we think, how we talk. And look, it's an incredibly powerful method. It's given us the amazing AI tools we use every single day. But here's the catch. If an AI only learns from what humans have already figured out, it can never fundamentally go beyond us. It's anchored to our history, our biases, our blind spots. It can recombine our ideas in fantastic ways, but can it create something truly, genuinely new? That's the ceiling. And this brings us to a really important idea in AI research, something people call the bitter lesson. And trust me, it can be a pretty tough pill to swallow. David Silver puts it perfectly. We're so attached to our own intelligence, right? We want to believe that all this knowledge we've worked so hard to accumulate is the secret sauce for building smarter machines. We want to be the teachers. But the bitter lesson is that this belief, this desire to teach, is actually what's holding AI back. By spoon-feeding it our answers, we might be preventing it from discovering its own, maybe even better ways of learning. The biggest breakthroughs, it turns out, don't come from imitation. They come from discovery. And there is no better proof of this, seriously, than the incredible story of two AI systems that play the ancient game of Go. So the story starts back in 2016. The whole world was shocked when AlphaGo, an AI trained on thousands of human expert games, beat the world champion Lee Sedol. But then, just a year later, the team built its successor, AlphaZero. And here's the crucial difference. AlphaZero was given 0 human games. It was only taught the basic rules and then just told, go play against yourself. The result? Absolutely astonishing. I mean, the punchline here is just, it's shocking. The AI that was untethered from human strategy didn't just get as good as the old one, it became vastly more powerful. By literally throwing out our entire library of knowledge, it just blasted right through that human performance ceiling. So how is that even possible? How do you learn from scratch? Well, the process is called reinforcement learning, and it's brilliantly simple. It starts out making completely random moves, just pure chaos. Then it plays millions and millions of games against itself, and for every game, it gets a super simple reward. +1 for a win, -1 for a loss. And with each game, it just slightly adjusts its strategy to favor the moves that led to a win. It just repeats the cycle over and over until it uncovers principles of the game that are far beyond anything we ever knew. And all that self-play led to a moment that completely changed the game of Go forever. In its match against Lee Sedol, the original AlphaGo made a move so unexpected, so weird, that experts later calculated the probability of a human player ever thinking of it was about 1 in 10,000. It became known as Move 37. And this move wasn't just good, it was alien. It was born from a totally different understanding of the game. People called it creative, even beautiful. It was a glimpse of what a mind completely unconstrained by human tradition could discover. Okay, so this is all amazing for board games, but what about the real world? Well, this exact same approach is now being used to solve some of the biggest scientific challenges we have. Meet AlphaProof. It uses the same AlphaZero-style learning, but instead of playing Go, its game is super advanced mathematics. It's given these incredibly hard problems, but not the human solutions, and it has to figure out how to generate a perfectly correct proof entirely from scratch. So how good is it? Well, at the International Math Olympiad, we're talking the world's most prestigious competition for young mathematicians, AlphaProof performed at a silver medal level. It even solved one problem that less than 1% of the top human competitors could even crack. So this really clarifies the two different paths. On one side, you have today's LLMs. Their goal is to align with what we humans like, using our judgment as feedback. But their ceiling is our own knowledge. On the other side, you have self-play systems like AlphaZero. They learn from a grounded outcome, a clear win or a loss. Their goal is just to find the best strategy, which gives them a potentially limitless ceiling for discovery. You know, David Silver has a great analogy for this. He says training an AI with human feedback is like asking someone if a cake recipe looks good on paper. But grounded feedback is when you actually bake the cake, you eat it, and you find out for real if it's delicious or disgusting. It's that real-world result that allows a system to actually discover something new. So what this all points to is a pretty fundamental shift in how we need to think about artificial intelligence. Welcome to the era of experience. And here's maybe the best way to think about it. Human data has been like a fossil fuel for AI. It's incredibly powerful, it's energy dense, and it gave us a massive head start. But it's finite. It's going to run out. Self-generated experience, on the other hand, that's like a sustainable fuel. The more an AI learns, the more experience it can create to learn from, which creates this amazing cycle of infinite improvement. We might be at the end of the beginning for AI. The goal seems to be shifting away from just imitation and more toward partnership, from building systems that just mirror us to creating partners that can show us the things we can't see on our own. And this leaves us with a pretty profound thought. AlphaZero discovered new strategies in a game we humans have played for 3,000 years. That tells us that when we finally untether AI from our own knowledge, the result isn't just a better imitation, it's genuine discovery. And it makes you wonder, the next huge breakthroughs in science or medicine might not come from a human mind at all, but from a machine that was finally allowed to think for itself.